Today, we're diving into a new blueprint for survival, a really radical energy plan designed for the nations right on the front lines of climate change, islands. It's a story of vulnerability, for sure, but also one of incredible resilience and the quest to power a modern paradise.
It's a question that sounds pretty simple, right? But for island nations, the answer is just incredibly complex. You see, energy isn't just about keeping the lights on. It's a total lifeline for their economy, it's a shield against climate change, and it's the very foundation of their national security. This is the challenge at the absolute heart of our explainer today.
All right, so before we get to the solution, we have to really understand the immense pressure these islands are under. They are truly living on the energy edge, caught in what is basically a perfect storm of vulnerabilities.
Let's break this down a bit. First off, a lot of these islands are almost completely dependent on imported fossil fuels. So if a single tanker is delayed or global prices spike, the cost of everything, from electricity to food, can just skyrocket overnight. Second, they are literally on the front lines of climate change, where one hurricane can knock out the entire power grid for weeks. And finally, their small size and isolation mean there's just not a lot of space to build the massive power plants that other countries rely on.
Now, what's so interesting about this slide is how clearly it lays out the shift in thinking. The old reality, on the left, is this fragile system. It's based on fossil fuels, crazy price swings, and a centralized grid that can get knocked out by a single event. The new goal? It's the complete opposite. A diverse mix of renewables, stable and affordable energy costs, and a resilient, decentralized network that can actually withstand shocks.
And that brings us to the plan itself. This isn't just some vague idea. It's a formal policy, a blueprint designed to tackle these vulnerabilities head-on and build a truly resilient energy future.
And here it is, the mission statement at the very heart of the policy. Pay close attention to these 4 words: secure, affordable, resilient, and sustainable. Every single one is a promise, and every part of the plan we're about to look at is designed to deliver on all 4. It's a really powerful and focused vision.
So, how does this vision translate into an actual plan? Well, it's built around these 5 core objectives. And as you can see, this is about so much more than just building some solar panels. It's a holistic approach, touching everything from technology and efficiency to regulations and future innovation.
So, how do they plan to achieve all this? Well, the strategy is broken down into 5 distinct pillars. This structure is what turns those high-level objectives into concrete action. Let's walk through them one by one.
The first and most crucial pillar is the shift to renewable energy. This is the big one. It's about breaking that reliance on expensive, dirty imported diesel and instead harnessing the power of the natural resources that islands have in abundance: sun, wind, and waves.
And this slide gives us a great snapshot of the strategy. See, it's not about choosing just one technology. It's a mix: solar panels on homes, wind turbines on the coast, even biomass. But the real key here is what's in the middle: battery storage. That lets them capture clean energy for when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing, which is crucial for reliability. It's also about partnerships, bringing in private investment to make this whole transition happen faster.
Okay, let's move to the second pillar. This one is about radical efficiency. Why? Because the cheapest, cleanest unit of energy is the one you don't have to produce in the first place. This pillar is just as important as building new renewables.
And the approach here is really comprehensive. It starts at the national level, with new efficiency standards for buildings and appliances. Then it targets the biggest energy users, like factories and hotels, with mandatory audits. And it goes all the way down to the individual household, promoting simple swaps like LED lighting and getting everyone involved through public awareness campaigns. Pillar 3 focuses on the twin goals of security and affordability. This is all about making the new energy system tough enough to withstand disasters and stable enough for people and businesses to actually afford.
This slide really shows resilience in action. It's partly about having smart backups, like strategic fuel reserves. But the real game changer is the move towards decentralized microgrids. So instead of one giant, vulnerable power plant for the whole nation, you create smaller, interconnected power systems on different islands. The huge advantage? If a storm knocks out power on one island, the others can keep running independently. It's a shift from a fragile chain to a robust web.
Okay, on to pillar 4, strong governance. Look, you can have the best technology in the world, but without clear rules and strong institutions, the plan will just falter. This is the bedrock that supports everything else.
This slide defines a really critical tool for making this happen, the IPP framework. Essentially, this is just a rule book that makes it safe and predictable for private companies to invest in building new power plants. By creating clear, standardized agreements, the government can attract the billions in private capital needed to build all this new renewable infrastructure much, much faster than they ever could alone. And the final pillar is all about innovation. Because this transition isn't just about adopting today's technology, it's about creating the solutions of tomorrow and making sure these islands are at the forefront of the next energy revolution.
So, what does this look like? It means funding pilot projects in cutting-edge tech like green hydrogen and ocean energy. It means forging partnerships with international experts. But most importantly, it's about investing in their own people, training a local workforce of engineers and technicians who can build, operate, and improve these new energy systems for generations to come.
So, we've got the 5 pillars, but a plan is only as good as its execution, right? This final section looks at the nuts and bolts of how this ambitious vision actually gets turned into reality.
And this is the accountability engine of the whole policy. It's not a one-and-done document that's going to sit on a shelf. There's a detailed action plan, mandatory annual reporting to track progress, specific performance metrics to measure success, and a full policy review every 5 years to make sure it stays relevant. This cycle ensures they're always improving.
Of course, a plan this ambitious needs funding. And this chart shows it's not coming from just one place. A huge portion, 40%, comes from international climate funds, which are specifically designed to help vulnerable nations adapt. Another 30% comes from those public-private partnerships we just talked about, bringing in business investment. The rest is a mix of green bonds to attract ethical investors and direct government spending. It's a strategy designed to pull in capital from every possible source.
So there you have it, a comprehensive 5-pillar strategy to power paradise sustainably and securely. The blueprint is clear, the mechanisms are in place, and the ambition is absolutely undeniable. But it leaves us with one final crucial question. In a race against time and tide, will this be enough?